Hey everybody, Oz the Butcher here today. Going to show you how to cut up a whole chicken. First things first, once you get the chicken out of the bag, what I like to do is I lay the chicken breast side down and I start with the wings. What you do is you get a hold of the wing here, kind of pull it back towards you. You can use a thinner knife is what I like to use. This is a deboning knife. Just kind of helps you get through some of the joints better. First thing you do, just make a small slice inside the top of the wing here, and what you'll see is there is a joint, a ball joint. What you do is you're going to kind of pull on the wing, pull it out of the socket, and just work the knife around that little ball joint. Go. Do that for both sides here. I like to flip the bird facing away from me now. Nice little snap to it once you pull it right out of the socket. And number two. Next step, flip the bird on its back. You're going to take the legs off, take the whole legs off. First thing you do, make a small incision right there in between the leg and the thigh and the breast, and you'll see it kind of has its own seam. What you do is just follow that seam lightly. You're not hardly using any pressure, just letting the blade kind of cut through some of that soft tissue. Next thing you do is you put some pressure, basically the tips of your fingers, and you're going to use your thumb to grip the inside of that leg, and you're going to pop that joint out. Then you're going to follow this backbone. You have a backbone right here. What you're going to do is you're going to take your knife and you're just going to gently run it up the backbone until you get to the joint. This little piece of meat in here is called the oyster. Oyster is super tender. It's one of the best pieces on a whole chicken, on any bird actually. So what I do is I press the knife forward towards the backbone, and then I just slightly pull, and that oyster will come right out. Finish cutting the rest of the skin. Here's your whole leg. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Small incision. The skin will pretty much peel away. Take your fingers and your thumb, press out that joint. Now run the knife along this backbone. You're going to get to this socket. Basically take your knife at a 90-degree angle to the backbone and just pull. Just takes very little pressure. There you go. Leg number two. Now, this is how I like to take the backbone out of a breast here. You've got all this extra skin and a little bit of meat. Just going to slightly cut that. Now, this part. What I like to envision is a Y cut. So you basically are going to cut sideways and down. Sideways, diagonally, then down. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Cut sideways, and then straight down. It takes a little bit of force to cut through that bone. And there you go. There's your backbone. Great for chicken soup. You don't need to throw this away. Makes a great chicken stock. Always put it to the side. Now, got this little cartilage right in the center of this breastbone here. What you're going to do is just apply a little bit of pressure, just enough to cut through the cartilage. And what you do is take your hands, get a thumb on each side of this breastplate, and it'll split open just like that. Then what you do is you're going to run your finger down this line of the breastplate here. So you're just going to get under there like that, like that. Take both fingers, press up, pull down. Now, from this point, you can just cut the breast in half if you like bone-in skin-on chicken breast, which I generally prefer. It seems to keep more moisture. It gets a little bit more flavor when we grill it that way. For some of you who do not like that, which is great, boneless, skinless chicken breast is great as well. You're going to take this breastbone right here, the ribs basically. You're going to take the knife, you're going to cut right under, got this kind of like long skinny bone at the front. What you do is you're just going to kind of cut on a plane all the way across, not down but across, like that. Do the same thing with the other side. Alright, so now you're going to have two little flappers there. Woo! Now becomes a little bit of the tricky part. This is called the wishbone. What I like to do is I run my knife right down the center here. Sometimes the bone is still intact and together, sometimes it's not. In this case it's not, so it cuts nicely. And then you just got to find this little bone here and just run your knife up. And there you go. You can do the same thing with the other side. What I do is I lift this rib cage, and sometimes this bone sticks up. I don't know if you could see that or not, but I'll just run the knife right under it. Boom, there you go. Another great addition to chicken stock. Alright, you've got a beautiful boneless skin-on chicken breast ready to go. Now, you say, oh, I don't like the skin, I want to take the skin off. Okay, you're going to start on one side, run your fingers under it. It's very easy, it'll peel itself right off. Start from each side until you get to the center. In the center, I just poke my finger through, pull, pull. There you go. Now if you want to clean this up a little bit, just take the edge of your knife, run it around the outer edges of the chicken breast, cut down the middle. There you have it. Boneless, skinless chicken breast. Now, say you want to have some drumsticks and thighs and you want to separate these legs. What you'll see is there's this little line of fat, and it's usually a pretty good guide of where you're going to run your knife. It doesn't always work, but for the most part, that's what I rely on. This little white line of fat, and I like to keep the end of the drumstick facing away from me. It seems to work more consistently that way. I just run my knife right down that line. There you have it. Drumstick, a beautiful thigh. I'm going to do the same thing here. Find that line. Bada bing, bada boom. Not too tough, is it? And that's it. I love the chicken wings. This tip, you don't really have much to do with it. You can make actually a really good chicken soup with these as well. You can put that in with your stock. I know there's a couple other recipes you can use these for. But I generally like to cut them off. What I do is I kind of press down on it, kind of extends the wing a little bit. Just find that joint, cut right down. Takes a little bit of pressure. Put that with your chicken stock. Same thing there. And there you have it. You got 8 pieces, chicken cut up, less than 2 minutes, saves you money, and it's fun. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up.